In this episode, we look at the temple so important to Cleopatra, Dandera, and then we go on a Dahabiya trip down the Nile, 5 days, visiting temples and villages. Enjoy. I'm at a place called Dandera now. Took a good hour from Luxor to get here, travelling quite fast. Looks very impressive, I must say. Yeah, so as we get closer to the temple, you really see those walls. And look at the gate, look at that big block on top of the gate. So I guess this must have been quite a substantial bit here. You can see the remains of a couple of sphinxes. There's even a row of mummies over there. I'm going to make a big assumption here and presume that they're empty. Right, well I've just come down these stairs. Apparently I bought a ticket to a crypt. And look what's at the bottom. That. If I look further, I see another sort of steps. Yay. I don't really know how I did that, but I did. Round through that, crawling backwards, and then backwards down these steps. This is, by the way, the crypt. And you can see on the walls. Well, here's some side steps now. I don't know how far this goes up. It's like a secret passage for the priest. Let's see what's here. Carry on up. Well worn from a couple of thousand of years of people. Imagine the priests walking up here. Oh, I reached somewhere. Yes. I'm at the top of the temple. The drive back seemed adventurous. We gave some money to the police and we were allowed to drive on a very nice road back to Luxor. We didn't go back to my hotel, we went to my driver's house. Beautiful, the view. You could even see Howard Carter's house from here. And of course, we relaxed a little bit. One of the highlights of my trip was traveling down the Nile, a 5-day trip from Luxor to Aswan. If you're deciding to do this, you have a choice. You have the choice of large sailing ships, and you see one passing by here, and you also have the choice of a Dahabiya. I chose the Dahabiya. It's a sailing boat, there's no motor, and if there isn't enough wind, it gets pulled by a tugboat. And this did happen on a couple of the days. It's a very luxurious trip. You have wonderful bedrooms with air conditioning and a beautiful area upstairs to sit. There's a full-time cook, and there were many more crew members than there were of us taking the trip. There were 7 of us. We stopped at many places along the way, very often helped by the police, as here. They're basically there to keep tourists safe. We'd hop off and off we'd go to the next temple. This one's interesting. It's the Esna temple, and the government has decided to excavate, which means all these houses will disappear. They'll be demolished. It's only part of the temple that you see here. The rest is still underground. There's so much to see from the boat. There's always people to wave at, animals that we don't usually see. We have a tour guide 100% of the time he travels with us. Here's the next temple, the Temple of Edfu. And this little temple, the Speos of Horemheb. We had a fascinating evening stroll through a local village, and we happened to be there on the one night of the harvesting of the mangoes. The whole village were involved. We visited thousands of years old quarries and the neighbouring tombs of noblemen. Fascinating how they got the stone off the mountains. They would test it with fire and icy cold water to see if it was pure. Then they'd drill holes in, put wood in the holes, and put heaps of water on so the wood would expand and off would come the stone. This is the Temple of Kom Ombo, the crocodile temple. The pharaohs had a sacred crocodile that was kept in quite a small area, and then it was mummified when it died, and here are a stack of mummified crocodiles. On we continue down the Nile and we visit this village with a camel market. These things are called tuk-tuks and they seem to be very much in supply here. Thirsty, anybody? So the camels come from Sudan, and at the moment the market price is about 80,000 Egyptian pounds, which is about $3,000. That's apparently expensive because there's a shortage. Before COVID there were 10,000 a week coming in, and this is the main place to buy camels. And then they were going for 10,000 Egyptian pounds. And you thought that the camels were destined for a life in the desert. This is camel meat. It would seem not all camels were. Our last night on the boat was Michelle's 21st birthday, and we celebrated with the crew. Next time, Aswan.